Hello. We are back on my Osmo, my new one. So I finally unboxed the camera today and I realized there was not an SD card, and my last one came with an SD card, so that put a little hiccup in my plan, but we got the SD card today and I am back up and running for the vlog. So today is Friday, I believe it's May 8th. Is that correct? Yes, so we are 3 weeks, 1 day out from Legion Sports Fest. We got our flights booked yesterday, so we're leaving on a Thursday. We will fly direct from Dallas to Reno, rent a car, and then check into Circus for the show. The show is going to be on Saturday. We get in like later on Thursday, so I'll be able to work at least part of the day, get my workout in if that's what I'm going to be doing on Thursday, just kind of like not be in a rush because I think the flight's not until like 6:30 p.m. and then with the time change we'll land at like 7:30 p.m. Get checked into the hotel and then probably just put in an order for food, or since we have the car we could just stop on the way, just depending how tired I am. So we'll check in Thursday. Friday will just be a relaxing day. I may, maybe we'll go to the store first thing in the morning. I'll have my tan that day, first coat of tan. And then sometimes before a show I like to get a blowout, so I might do that since I'll have the car. Just it makes it a little bit easier to get to and from the appointments. I've done Legions before, and there's no hotel that's like connected to the venue or like across the street from the venue, so there's a little bit more back and forth for appointments and things like that. But I am staying in one of the host hotels. There's two, and they're more in that direction, so I'm hoping the tanning and or makeup will be at one of those hotels, so there won't be so much back and forth. This week I finally wrapped up just some craziness in not just my life, but I got those just random videos uploaded so that I could actually kind of do something cohesive for the next 3 weeks. I think I mentioned in a previous video, I work for an RIA, financial planning firm, and we're in the process. We're going to be switching platforms. So for new clients, we've started to onboard them there. For our existing clients, we're going to do a data transfer. So it's been a lot of like data input to move the clients, but we wrapped that up this week, which is just something that's been like weighing on me because it's just one of those tasks that's like, it's not super hard, but you have to be very, very cognizant of what you're doing because it's data entry and that's what they use to create the new accounts. So that got wrapped up this week. That feels really good. I dropped my handsome boy Thor off to get some grooming done today. He was way overdue. That's just me being a bad dog mom, but he does have a lot of hair and it is very thick. It is really starting to get hot here in Texas, so I took him, he got a bath, he got a haircut, a de-shedding treatment, which they called like a defermerator. So it's like a vacuum thing with a brush, and they just go over him a million times to really make sure any loose hair is coming out. So he just looks so cute. I'll pop a picture of him. But he's just such a good boy. So he had a little bit of a field trip today. I'm actually watching my dad's dogs tonight. So once I finish up my cardio, I need to take Thor home, and then I need to pack my stuff and head back to my dad's so I can let his dogs out, feed them, that kind of stuff. So earlier this week I checked in. I was like 126.8, I believe. So I'll pop those check-ins here at the end of this video. I'm supposed to check in again tomorrow, so I will include those as well. We feel good about the look and where things are at. We're not shooting to be as lean or as dry as we were at the Arnold's. We just need to be good enough, but we're really trying to preserve my body because this is a long season, and just preserving the routine for this show. I was definitely dealing with a lot of nagging injuries leading up to the Arnold's, but also after the Arnold's, like you're kind of dealing with the aftermath of performing on a hard surface at like full capacity. I had been sick, all that kind of things. In January, I had sprained my knee and I just kind of kept pushing forward because we were really close to show. So I was trying to give myself more time to recover. Because there's really nothing you can do for that except for brace it up and kind of rest. And then I had the MRI done on my left arm. It was really bothering me a lot heading into Arnold UK, and now it makes sense because basically I have my ulnar nerve has been pinched, inflamed in this part of my elbow. So just so many movements, it was just so sensitive, like sensitive to the touch, but it's like it wasn't preventing me from doing stuff, it just hurt. So I got some high-dose anti-inflammatory for that. I'm trying not to take it every day, maybe every other day, just because as long as the inflammation's down, I just want to have some on hand for when it is bothering me. But I've been doing like nerve flossing stuff, and it seems to have helped. I've been trying to do, more ice and things like that versus what I was doing before was trying to treat tendonitis, which is what it started as. But the tendonitis pain has like gone away, but I just kept doing those things thinking it was going to help. So at least we have more of a plan for my arm. So I will be headed, I'll check in the morning. I think we're planning on a high day tomorrow. And then I also have routine practice. So definitely trying to get back in the groove of things of like 2 practices a week. I've been running my routine. I've been working on it. There's been changes made. So now it's really just cleaning it up for the next 3 weeks and piecemealing everything back together. I've been running it, but like I think I'm done with all of the changes that I'm going to be making for Legion. So it's just like running them consistently with the changes, cleaning it up, making sure the transitions flow. So I feel good about that. And I think that's really it this weekend. Just a lot of practice, check-ins, that kind of thing. And then Monday morning, first thing, I have to sit for this test, and I just don't feel prepared, but I'm trying not to worry about that right now. Worst case scenario is I take the test again, and that's not really not something I'm going to lose sleep over at this point. I've done all the coursework, so the test is like, it's a life insurance exam, but it's for like business owners, professionals, how to basically like use insurance for your business continuity plans and things like that. And a lot of the stuff I know just because I've worked in the industry for so long, but some of it is very, very specific to like taxes and like different level corporations. And that's where for me, when they're like, this tax code and this is the question, and I'm like, I have no effing idea what you're talking about. But just going to study and do my best and cross that bridge when I come to it. I just need to sit for the test and get through this weekend and get a move on with things. So I'm super, super happy to be back on my Osmo. I worked out today in the garage again. I don't know, like it was just really enjoyable on Thursday, like to just be like sweating and kind of like have a space to myself and just be moving through. Like at my own pace. I just kind of superset everything, and I like to do jump rope and stuff in between, just because it does help with, my endurance of it. So I'm going to do some cardio on the stepper and then get moving along with my day. So thank you for being patient with me. I am super glad to have my camera back, and I'm going to figure out a way. I know I can put the AirTag in the case, but I'm going to try to figure out a way to attach it to the camera. on the stairs doing our cardio. I checked in this morning. I'm gonna drop a clip. I had stayed at my dad's last night to watch his dogs because my stepsister had graduation this morning. So check-ins were a little chaotic, not my norm, but I was just trying to find the right lighting because I normally use like a ring light so it's consistent throughout prep. But my dad's house has so much natural light coming in, like there's so many windows that it was hard to find like a dark space to use a ring light. So Justin got what he got. And after that, I hung out a little bit this morning, drank coffee, took care of his dogs. He has these two huge, massive King Corsos. So those dogs can eat, and those dogs are big. But did that, headed over to Tumble HQ to do my routine practice. The practice went fine. Like, it wasn't bad. It's just like, I just wasn't really feeling it today. Like, I just felt like I was going through the motions. Still a couple little tweaks I want to make, like not necessarily choreography changes, but just like tweaks to how I'm doing things just for the cleaning process. So we are 3 weeks out today. We'll be headed to Reno soon. I have like 45 minutes of cardio to get done, and then I'm gonna get my stuff together, head back up to my dad's, let the dogs out one more time and get my stuff. And then that's really gonna be the day. I need to study. This test is just like weighing on me, but we're gonna just do our best and move forward. I think that's really it for this weekend. Tomorrow I will have another practice, hopefully just not being kind of away, sleeping at home. Just I'll feel more like myself a little bit, so that's the goal. Last night when I went to go to sleep, like I was sleeping in the office on the pull-out sofa, and it was really strange. Like I was studying for a little bit, and then all of a sudden my nose was just like, I couldn't breathe out of it. Like it was so congested, like nothing was moving. And so I was like, okay, like let me move to the sofa. And like within an hour, like my nose was fine. It was super weird. I don't know what that was about, but I slept on the sofa. I still slept really good for myself. Like I slept 9 hours and 51 minutes on a sofa. Wild. So, rest of today should be pretty smooth. It's about 2:46. I'm only about 5 minutes into cardio, but just wanted to kind of keep you guys updated. You know, I have those days too. Like, I love fitness, but I know I'm not going to stay in fitness forever. Like, eventually I will make a transition to thicker. But it's just like, I love all of the stuff that goes into fitness, and like it's always been a big part of my life, doing cheer and gymnastics growing up. But it's just, all of that wreaks havoc on your body when you really think about the wear and tear, like from the time you're 7, 8 years old to being 33 now. So there's just days where like my heart isn't in it, where I just kind of feel like I'm going through the motions. And then there's days like, you know, show days, or like, you know, when everything's clicking and everything's firing, and like, and it's still, and I still love it. I know I still love it. And it's just like, you're just not going to always have days where like, you love it. And that's just kind of what I reminded myself of. Like, I love this. I'm having an off day. I just wasn't feeling it today, but I still practiced. And just thinking about like all of the stuff that has been going on in my life, my personal life, the last 6 months, but like kind of finalizing everything since Arnold UK to now, with my move, just moving my life in a new chapter. So I'm just like, you know, most people wouldn't be able to prep through this. I prepped for 2 Arnold and got 3rd place at a world championship show. I I got sick, I got strep throat, I sprained my knee, I had a nerve issue in my arm. And I say all of that not to make excuses, but to say, like, if there's a will, there's a way. And if you want to do something, you show up and you do it for yourself, regardless of the outcome, because it's your passion and it's what you love. And I think as a competitor, I've just continued to evolve and improve. Yes, I've had showings that haven't been my best. 2025 Olympia, I had such a high in the morning and such a low in the evening. But then I felt like myself again on stage, Arnold US. Like, that to me was just like such a win of like, yes, getting third was the highest I've gotten at an Arnold, but how I felt that day. My presence on stage, my physique, my presentation. You know, I had, I think, one of my best routines at Arnold US, and then heading, you know, into Arnold UK. Like, that was the first time I claimed a physique round at a top tier show, like at an Arnold or Olympia. So I just remind myself of like those personal wins that like I would have never gotten if I had pulled the plug on prep. So it's like, you can have bad days, but don't give up. Keep showing up for yourself because you made the goal when you weren't hungry and you weren't tired, and you know, you picked this show for a reason. I was the previous champion in 2024, and I love a center podium Chris Minnis production. I don't love Reno, but we're gonna go because that's where it's at. And hopefully take care of business and then have a little bit of downtime to myself. I don't know, right now I don't have a plan B. So focus on getting my qualification and then take it one day at a time. You know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'll pivot and figure out what I'm gonna do. But at this point, I try not to think about that because it's been a long time since I had to kind of do a run of shows, but I always like to remind myself, it's still a possibility. Everyone continues to improve and get better, not just me. And so coming into the show, we're doing what we can to preserve the routine round a little bit more. We're really only shooting to be about 90% with my physique. Just one, it's a long season. Started prep in December. We did the Arnolds. I had a little bit of a break. We pulled back on stimulants, pulled back on cardio, increased my food to give my body like a reset. And then we're 3 weeks out, so maybe 4.5, 5 weeks out, we started to like dig back down a little bit. The physique has definitely improved. This morning I was up a little bit. I was 127, but we're really only trying to head into peak week like sub like 125. So it's right there. It just gets frustrating when you're digging and you don't see the weight moving, but we're doing all the things. We're getting back in gear, and I do think once I get through my test next week, either outcome, I'll have that kind of lifted off my shoulders. If I pass, I'm golden. I have my CLU designation. If I need to retake the test, essentially what happens is I have to pay a fee, even because I received a scholarship for these courses, so everything I've been doing has been for free. But essentially, I'll pay a retake fee for the test, and then I get 4 weeks to study. So I think just the extra time to study will just kind of give me that breathing room, because I have been studying. It just hasn't been top of my to-do list. So I will just kind of create a plan for my studying, and then I will take it post-show, but before that deadline and before I move. So that's my plan with that. And yeah, overall, good Saturday, can't complain. Just kind of in a little funk, that's all. But I took my doggies for a walk, and that always puts me in a good mood, especially because now it's 80 and sunny in Dallas, and I love it. So thanks for letting me yip. I am sweating in here. This is my apartment gym, and it's normally freezing in here, but god. We're burning those calories. I'm gonna lose the weight. Okay. I just finished my last cardio for the week. It is Sunday. I did 30 minutes this morning on the stairs at home. I kind of got a late start, so I really wanted to sleep in because yesterday was my high day. Normally I sleep great after a high day, so I got almost 9 hours of sleep, which is still really great. I need to really, next couple of weeks, I'm really just prioritizing sleep over everything because I don't like to say I've had bad sleep, but bad sleep compared to what I'm used to. I am a 8-hour minimum kind of gal in prep. Like, everything for me is just firing much better when I get at least 8 hours. I would say more often than not, it's closer to 9. On the weekends, it might be 9.5. And a lot of that just comes from like, when you're in a deficit for a long time, like your body will pull energy from calories or sleep, so you can function much better during the day on less food when you sleep more. So I have found when I really prioritize my sleep and prep, how I feel throughout the day on low calories is substantially better than when I don't sleep well and I'm on low food. Or people, general population people, sometimes tend to overeat when they don't sleep because your body will send your mind hunger cues when you don't sleep and you think you're hungry, but really your body is tired. Same with water. So for general population people, a lot of times, like for my online clients, I am like, well, how's your sleep? How's your water? Really more habit focused versus like, you know, for lifestyle people, I think there's a lot of people who can get away with not necessarily tracking their macros or following a meal plan by building healthy habits like sleep, water, prioritizing protein. You would think that's, you know, in our world, that's like the bare bones, like it's like common knowledge, but to the common population, lifestyle clients, it's not. So when I'm in prep, I really like to prioritize sleep. That's just my TED talk, okay? On why I need to sleep so much. And so practice today went better. I was in a better place mentally. I didn't do much more than I was doing yesterday. I focused on just one run through for my endurance, and then I went back and did the last minute and then the first minute, and then I was just kind of brainstorming some ideas. I pulled some clips. I sent it to my team for their feedback. Overall, there's just these 3 little sections that I feel like could be better. More so one section that needs definite like tweaks to make it better. The other 2 were more so like, hey, I'm doing this. Do you think I should do it like this or keep it how it is? And it's not really a change thing. It's like option A or option B. Sometimes I just need another opinion. And the other thing is more of a transition where it's before my handstand skill, and it's like I kind of do this like hair flip thing, and then I'm bringing my arms to the front, and it kind of gives me a second to breathe, and the handstand skill goes better. So it was more so, is this arm movement okay, or do you think it's like a little too boring? So, not major items to change. I mean, I'm less than 3 weeks out, but I want to get all of that solidified this week so that my last 2 practices are just run-throughs. Focusing on endurance, cleaning. I did decide to change my opening pass just because sometimes I forget that like qualifying shows, the stages aren't as big. So I wanted to go ahead and make the change this weekend just to make sure that I'm having enough space on stage. Like, I don't want to get to stage and be like, oh, I need to make a change. So that was today. I did my steady state this morning. I did my practice. I sat in the sauna for a little bit. It's 3:30. I just finished my HIIT. I was going to try to go to Costco today, but I don't think I'm going to have time for all of that. And then it's so funny because I'm just sharing this as like an aside, a little tidbit about me. Every single time I do my HIIT or intervals on the stairs, people are like, oh, how do you do that? How do you stay motivated? And like, I pull up my phone and like, I watch my prejudging. So this is from Arnold UK. This is the final 2 call out. I do about 15 minutes of HIIT. 10 minutes of HIIT? 15. 30 minutes a week is what I have. But I either watch Olympia prejudging from last year, Arnold US or Arnold UK prejudging, and it just kind of keeps me motivated, like every time I have to do the high interval and really, really push it. Because I'm like watching myself and I'm like, I gotta be lean, I gotta get there, I need my endurance. So I'm gonna close this video out today. It is Sunday. We are 20 days away from a show today. Feeling good overall. We booked everything. Flights are booked, hotel, car, makeup. I need to finalize the details with my tan, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Justin got back to me this morning. I checked him yesterday, but yesterday was New York Pro. He had men's open yesterday. The day before, I think, was he had someone in classic and then 212. So 2 of Justin's clients, they won 212 and open. So big congratulations to him. I don't know if it's, I mean, I'm sure maybe it's happened in the past, but like I think it's, you know, a good testament of how good a coach Justin is, that he can coach across so many different divisions. Like, he just had me at the Arnolds. I had 2 top 3 finishes, but in the physique round, I was a 2 and a 1 at the Arnolds, which is, you know, one of the highest tier shows in the world for fitness. And then, you know, he's gotten, Tony already had a qualification from last year when he did Mexico, but have them lead into New York, 212 winner, an open winner, going into Legions. I believe Tonio is also doing the show, so the goal is to get another win with open and obviously fitness for myself. And then hopefully we'll get that qualification and be headed to the Olympia for the 5th year in a row. But just taking things one day at a time. If I need to make a plan B, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, but I'm not going to be thinking about that right now. So that's where everything's at. We didn't make any changes to my plan. My weight, like I had mentioned, was kind of up, and we had anticipated it to come down. But I had that high day yesterday, and I was only up like 1.5 pounds from the high day. So he wants me to check in again Tuesday. We're really just hoping to get into the 125s before peak week. So I think that's doable. Like, it's only like 2 pounds-ish, and I've been more so sitting in the 126s. So I think just prioritizing my sleep, my recovery, taking some baths, Epsom salt, just making sure I'm not holding any extra fluid, and just prioritizing all the things. I did a little bit of posing today. That was good too. I've definitely been neglecting that, but we're not changing my routine, so I just need to, if I start doing it every day, I'm going to be fine by show day. And I have 1 session with Christina before Legions. So thank you for following along. This is going to be episode 2. We are 20 days away from stage.